save me from the arrow that flieth by day and the pestilence by night time. Black eyes, so help me God. Blood on the wall, prison let me fall. Been an outlaw, disrespect to the call. Now I'm thinking, trying to hold on to the pillar. Save my ass police from the serial killers. AK on end, locks on birds. Like I'm still the last on my fancy cars. When I appease you with the strings and guitars. Waiting for the museum, I'm looking at the skies. When you see me on TV screens and those magazines, you wanna get my city things, you know what I've been through. To me, the skinny jeans on the smoke rings, wanted on the G strings, you know where I've been to. Now I'm feeling free of a kind, I'm not killing. Someone said hi, Joan, never gonna be them. Well, the lights is bright and the dark is wrong, so never right, and now the lights and I'm a see them. You know why the game goes when it's case closed and never red, they watch you like free throws. On the hoes and those, the doors never gonna stop when it flows, when it's dropping singles like we do. What you gonna do? Don't receive this with them, the bullets in the trash can, and the hide at the window. When the money comes and when it goes, when it goes, and the
It's been a joke. It's been a joke, an absolute joke. The Euros is a shambles. I mean, why could you be hosting the Euros without the best players in the world or the best players in Europe? I mean, it's an irony. So, what are we talking about? Today, we'll be looking at the best squad that is missing at the Euros 2024, currently ongoing in Germany. I mean, join us as we analyze and pick our top squad that is missing in Germany. There are the notable absentees, the reasons behind their absences, and what could have been if they had been at the tournaments. Alright? Stay tuned to see my picks and stay updated on all the latest football news and analysis right here. Like, subscribe, and share this video to every football loving person that you know in the world. Let's get into it quickly. Who is the top keeper that is missing at Euros? Without further ado, without looking so much, we know that Courtois is arguably the best keeper in Europe at the moment. Won the Champions League with Real Madrid, even if he didn't do much during the course of the competition due to the ACL. One of the reasons that has kept him out of these Euros, but still he performed very well in the final, leading Madrid to victory against Borussia Dortmund. But what was his reason for not going to the Euros? Not due to injury. Like I said, he played in the final for Real Madrid, so he's already recovered from the ACL that kept him out for much of the season. But he is missing from the Euros due to a disagreement, a fallout he had with the coach, Domenico Tedesco, who insisted Courtois was unhappy at being snubbed as the captain in a European qualifier against Estonia. So he left the squad, and since then he has refused to play for the Belgian national team. And now it's a very notable absentee, one that could really cost Belgium dearly. Like you see, they lost their first game. Maybe, just maybe, with Courtois in goal, that could have been prevented. Okay, moving forward to right back. At right back, I'm going with Ben White. There are lots of right backs that are notable, that are missing out or that didn't make it to Euros 2024. But I think of all of them, Ben White had the best season. I mean, was constant in the lineup of Arsenal for the whole of the season. But he is not at the Euros. Why? Also not injured. This is getting funny. He also had a fallout with the assistant coach, Steve Holland. So I guess most of these people are shying away from the national team because of disagreements they have with certain individuals. Is that enough to boycott the national team? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. But yeah, we go on. In central defense is Mats Hummels. Mats Hummels, still not because he's injured, because he had a very good outing at the Champions League last season. But obviously, Nagelsmann couldn't find space for him in his squad due to he had to go with Anthony Rudiger and Jonathan Tah. So Mats Hummels occupies the centre-back position for me in the strongest squad that failed to qualify for Germany Euros 2024. Partnering Mats Hummels in defense will be Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire, he had somewhat of a resurrection in the last season. He had a fair season, to be fair. He performed fairly above, he performed reasonably well, saving Manchester United on a couple of occasions. But at the crucial moments, he got injured, and that has cost him a place in Germany. So Harry Maguire is partnering Mats Hummels in central defence for the strongest 11 not to qualify for Euros 2024. At left back is David Alaba. You know, he could have been a very potent leader for Ralf Rangnick's Austrian team. I mean, they are beginning to play some kind of football with an ideology, with a philosophy that is elite. But unfortunately for them, David Alaba picked up an ACL during the season and could not recover in time for the competition. Going forward, in my defensive midfield position, I have this guy more like a deep line playmaker because I love the way he plays football. The way he drives the ball, the way he moves, the way he uses spaces, the way he takes passes. I really love him. If you know me, you know who I'm talking about. It's no other than Frenkie de Jong. Frenkie de Jong missing from the Dutch national team due to injuries. He picked up an ankle injury during the season and could not recover in time. So he's got it nailed down. He's holding my deep line playmaker position for this one. Just ahead of him is Paul Pogba. You know Paul Pogba and the old doping allegation. Is serving a 4-year ban for doping, and he has always denied it vehemently that he didn't breach any of those or the laws intentionally. But he's serving a 4-year ban that's pending the outcome of the case at the Court of Arbitrations. He cannot play football for Juventus or for the French national team. Paul Pogba would have been a very strong force addition for France, just behind Mbappe and the strikers, but he's missing because of the ban. Alongside Pogba in attacking midfield is Martin Odegaard. Martin Odegaard not injured, but his team failed to qualify. You know, he's Norwegian, and his team failed to qualify for the competition. So Martin Odegaard is missing from the Mundial. At right wing is Serge Gnabry. Serge Gnabry, you know how exciting it could be on the ball with his extreme pace, burst of pace, his eye for goal. He's a very good attacking winger that could have lighted up the competition at Germany, but he could not make it because of an hamstring injury that has decided to hinder him from adding to his 45 caps for the national team. So Serge Gnabry is my right winger for this one. On the left wing is Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford had a terrible season for Manchester United. We know it was frustrating at times to watch. Even some Manchester United fans were wishing him injured so he wouldn't have any choice than to be kept on the bench or on the treatment table. So that's how bad it was. And Gareth Southgate decided to go with his more trusted options. I mean, he had 8 goals in 43 appearances in all competitions for Manchester United. That's terrible. Even for a midfielder. Definitely midfielders like Bruno Fernandes get more output than that. So let alone for an attacker, it's pathetic. So he has no reasons to even feel wrongly, to feel unjust, or to feel cheated not being picked for the Euros in Germany. Ahead of Rashford, playing in the number 9 position is Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland, arguably one of the best strikers in the world, maybe in terms of goals. Some would argue because of the team he plays for rather, and his teammates make goal scoring easy for him. But it is what it is. He's one of the best young strikers in Europe. if not the best young striker, if not the best striker in Europe. But he's missing at the best competition for European countries because, like Martin Odegaard, his national team, the Norwegian team, could not qualify for the finals. Okay, on the bench, quickly, I have a whole lot of players that can make a second team, but I will just be picking maybe about 7 of them for the bench. On the bench, starting the chilling zone on the bench is Reece James. You know, the Chelsea defender was in and out of hospital last season with injuries. He could not play for much because, he was always injured at one point or the other. But he came good towards the end of the season, and he had to play some games, but apparently not match fit. And guys, Southgate decided to go for other options that had better seasons and are more fit. I mean, in terms of their body, like bodies that don't break easily. So Reece James is on the bench for that one. Sitting just directly beside Reece James is Jurrien Timber. You know, the Arsenal defender, fine defender from Ajax, but he didn't play any competitive game for Arsenal last season rather. He got injured in preseason that ruled him out all season. Very pathetic because he could have really lifted Arsenal to some extent, and he could have helped the Dutch national team, especially because of his versatility, capable of playing centre back and left back, but he has no place in that team other than to sit on the bench with Reece James and the likes. Just beside them is Lucas Hernandez. Well, a very versatile defender too, capable of playing centre back and left back, but he had an injury, an ACL injury, that has ruled him out of this one. He's just like deja vu. Say he played just 30 minutes at the 2022 World Cup, and he got sustained an injury that ruled him out from the competition, which almost made him retire from international football at a very early age of 26. But look at him again. Months before the Euros, he picked up another ACL that ruled him out from this one. Ahead of him is Jack Grealish. What would I say about Jack Grealish? Just like Marcus Rashford, had a very terrible season. Nothing to write home about for an attacker. I mean, he had 3 goals and 3 assists in how many appearances? In 36 appearances across all competitions for £100 million man. I mean, that's nothing to write home about. Guys, Southgate decided to go for better options and leave, Jack Grealish with us on the bench here. We also have Sandro Tonali, a very good midfielder coming from Italy, but early days in Newcastle, he breached certain gambling rules, and he was handed a 10-month ban from football. The 10 months is yet to elapse, so he's unavailable for his national team at the Euros 2024. This is another player that is missing that hurts me kind of, because he's a very young prospect that could have had, a very exciting campaign even from the last season for his club. But due to injuries sustained for his national team during the qualifiers, ruled him out from football for a while now. It's Gavi. Very exciting midfielder. I'm sure if you love football, you love Gavi. But he has an injury that has ruled him out from this one and is unavailable for selection for the Spanish national team. Besides Gavi is Nkunku. Nkunku also had an injury-plagued season with Chelsea. Missed almost more than half of the season. But he came back for a couple of games for Chelsea, but he wasn't selected. He was deemed surplus to requirements for the French national team, and he wasn't picked. Besides Nkunku is Isak. I think he's a very worthy striker to be on the bench for these selections, because he had a very good season with Newcastle, but could not make it to the Euros in Germany. Alongside Isak, last on the bench is Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling was cold and hot for Chelsea. I mean, he was just there, was not too dependable, but he had some very good games for Chelsea. I can remember he had a good game against Man City in the league. Was in the league or in a cup competition where he scored a fine goal. But he couldn't make it to the Euros 2024 in Germany because there are better options ahead of him. And lastly, I think you want to know who the coach for these selections is. The best coach in Europe that failed to make it to the Mundial. He is not missing because of injuries. Neither is he missing because he had a fallout or a disagreement with any player or with maybe an assistant manager or the federation chairman or something. He is missing from the competition because he has to make this video for you guys. No other person than my humble self, Ice. I'm the coach of this team and I sat this one out, I sat the Euros out because I need to be here giving you live updates and match predictions, match statistics and analysis. So I think that's a very good reason for missing out on the Euros 2024. Before we go, I encourage you to share your thoughts on the squad missing out of the Euros 2024 in Germany. And if you are coming across this video, coming across this channel for the very first time, do well to subscribe on your way out and drop your likes, smash a like for this video if you like what you've seen so far. Okay, your engagement is what keeps this community thriving. And thanks for watching and see you in the next video.
It's just a dream.